Hey, welcome back to Fade the Mahoney. It is preview time. We're doing Magic Wildcats. We're joined by Trevor. You probably don't remember this. Number 7 overall pick in the Slate 3 fantasy draft by you. Do you remember that? You took Jaxen. 7th
I
pick.
feels like it's a good pick.
Yeah. Jaxen, welcome back, buddy. Thanks for coming.
Thank you guys for having me on, as always.
Yep. Top 7. 7th pick. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week.
All right. Everybody, this is the first ever do-over show. We actually we recorded this previously with Drew Davis when we weren't, because the schedule is crazy. We thought this was being played. Now we have more information, and Drew said so many inflammatory things about his teammates, the other people in the league, some of the fans, that it's probably best to just cut it out. So we're going to redo it. And we upgraded to Jaxen. So Jaxen, thanks for joining us. What do we got? 2 really good teams?
100%.
What do we got? 5-1, 5-1? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Trevor, you wanted to say something, say it.
Well, I felt like we have to can we talk real quick about what just happened last weekend? That'll be airing coming up soon. And already happened, I guess. Can we talk about that?
As long
I
as
just want to talk about how people recognized me from Fade the Mahoney. That's all I want to talk about.
Okay. Yeah. Trevor was at the Philly series. Trevor has a YouTube channel that covers his poker exploits that has 11,000 subscribers, something like that, Trevor?
Yeah. I mean, it's a now vacated channel mostly, but at one point we were at 11,500 or something like that.
And Fade the Mahoney doesn't have quite that many. And what happened?
There were more people that recognized me at the Phillies series game between the Mallards and Predators for Fade the Mahoney than people recognized me for the poker vlog in a poker in poker tournaments or different poker events. So that was pretty great.
That just means MLW fans are cooler, right?
I agree. Yes.
All right, Jaxen, I got some questions here for you before we get into the betting and the odds. We've got 5-1 versus 5-1. Magic, I assume the 2 pitchers you're going to go against for the Magic are a combined 5-0 with a 0.00 ERA. And you guys, the 2 pitchers I assume you guys will have going are combined 5-1, I think, with just over a 2 ERA. I think that's what we've got going. So I guess let me just ask you, what do you think about their pitching staff? I mean, we're used to the Magic being god awful. So what's going on?
I mean, for one, they have RJ. So I personally always thought he was going to be good ever since I played him at UWIFs last year and the younger division, that tournament. So I've always thought highly of RJ. He has impressed me because I thought he was going to have to ease his way into the league more, and he kind of just took it by storm as soon as he came in. And then obviously Bonham. I mean, I've seen him for years too, and I've known Trev's really good at just hitting spots and everything. So we're going to have to for sure look at some footage, and we're going to have a game plan. We're going to be ready for him. But obviously, I mean, they've come prepared for every team they've played so far, and they're playing great. The best whiff of their life, honestly, probably.
All right. I have lots of questions, Trevor, but what do you got? You go.
Yeah, I mean, I think more importantly, there's going to be a lot of focus on the Magic pitchers, but I think from the Wildcats perspective, it's very clear what the game plan has to be pitching against the Magic, right? And it's just about executing, right? Is that what you guys are thinking going in? You can't let Grant beat you, basically, right?
100%. That's actually almost spot on, Trevor. If we don't want to lose, if we want to make somebody beat us, it would be their 2 through 4 in the lineup. I mean, Grant is by far their best hitter. And if Trev can beat us, or Agner, if one of them gets a hold of one and gets on board with home or something like that, and they put a good swing on one, then yeah, but we're going to do our best to pitch carefully or pitch around Grant for sure.
My next note was Literally, he should get 0 pitches to hit,
Yep.
like 0.
Yep.
But my next note, I thought you were just joking when you said that. My question for you: how does it feel to have an automatic out every time Jax steps into the batter's box?
I honestly, he's still a good player. He's a veteran. He's a veteran in the league. So he still has the experience, and I honestly, like, obviously we're going to attack him, but hey, in MLW, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
I was listening to one of the Pipe It Ups recently where he was talking about how he literally cannot throw a wiffle ball. So in addition to not being able to throw and not being able to make contact whenever he swings, aside from that, he's a spectacular player.
Oh, I wouldn't say spectacular, but I honestly, he still has the experience with him, and you never know. On any given day, he's still the leader of their team. He's a manager, so he's still going to have a big impact on the series coming up.
Right. For now, until Trevor and I take over. Right, Trevor?
I do want to point out. So here's the thing, right? Jack still can't hit the ball, but he can walk, and that's what he did in this series against the Predators, the most recent one. So the game they won 1-0. He had 3 walks in that game and 2 strikeouts. The game they won 6-0. He had 2 walks, I believe. Yeah, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. And then the game they won, the last game that they won, he didn't have anything, but they still won.
Yep.
I would argue that's pitching malpractice, right? Just groove him. He's not going to do anything.
Yes.
Follow-up question. You guys are in the same division, right? This is a division matchup.
Yeah, we're both in the AL.
Yeah. You are probably not looking forward to the day that Trevor and I take over the Magic. Get Jack out of there. Trevor and I take over. We're getting the Red Baron on the team, right, Trevor? We got
Red Baron and then my son.
Yeah, we got big plans for the Magic. I guess my other question, you probably already covered it as far as RJ goes, but you agree with, was that Russell who said something about he's not impressive, nothing special about him?
So I know what Russ meant when he said that. I just thought he said it in the wrong way, but I understand. I think he was like referring to saying that he doesn't think RJ's like stuff is great or not. Like, I think he thinks it's hittable at the end of the day. And he was just saying that they played awful that day more than he pitched great. But obviously he pitched well and he was attacking them. I just thought he said it in the wrong way. But I know what he meant. But I do think RJ has pretty good stuff, and he's gonna be good, obviously, as he's already shown in the future.
I'm just having a little fun with Russell. We love that guy. Been on the show multiple times.
Yeah, Russell.
All right, Trevor.
I mean, it's got to be the Sailor effect, right? It's like the same thing when Sailor would pitch, and people would be like, "Why can't we hit him?" And then they just wouldn't hit him.
Yeah, this RJ's his pitching this year kind of reminds me actually of like Dallas, like at like the beginning of last year, and I think RJ does a great job of actually just having a level head, because like when you're doing this well, you don't want to ever get too high on yourself. That's what I was telling him this the other day. Never get too high, never get too low when things are going bad. And he's just like, for being that young, like he just has like a great like mindset and level head.
All right. Trevor, you got any more questions, or can we get into the gambling?
Let's get into the gambling.
All right. We're doing our best to get these previews under 10 minutes. This one will be cutting it close. But again, we had some numbers out that we worked with previously, but it was before the Magic swept the Predators. So we're giving you a mulligan. Trevor, what do you got?
I'm very excited to talk about this line because I think this will be one of the most controversial lines of the season.
Okay.
The Wildcats, 5-1. Magic, 5-1. Mm-hmm. The line, Wildcats minus 170.
Wow.
The reason I think the book went this high on the line, I think the Wildcats are just too veteran of a team to make the mistake of pitching. I think Kyle's just too veteran of a pitcher to make the mistake of pitching to Grant and letting him beat them. And on top of that, I think that they also are such a good hitting team that I think they'll be the first guys that are able to get to RJ a bit. And we haven't seen how RJ is going to respond to any kind of adversity. And I think you're going to see that in this game. I think you're going to see in these games. I think you're going to see the Wildcats get on them a little bit. I just don't see many scenarios for the Magic win the series.
All right, Jaxen, I'm going to ask you to respond to that. I just need to explain to everybody watching what Trevor's saying is you've got to lay 165 to win 100 on the Wildcats. Again, they're facing two pitchers that are 5-0 with a 0 ERA, and he has them. What did you say? Minus
170.
All right, Jaxen, what do you think about that?
I honestly think it's good. I mean, I think we are the best hitting team in MLW, and I think we are one of the smartest teams in MLW, and Kyle's one of the best players and pitchers. So I'm confident that as long as we pitch carefully to Grant, we can get it done in just about every aspect of the series. So I'm confident in myself and our team for sure.
All right. You know what's interesting, Trevor, in our previous episode that will never be seen, it was only slightly less. And since then, they swept the Predators and you increased it. That is crazy. All right. You probably don't remember because it was a long time ago. I at the lesser number, I took the Magic. And I do kind of believe it's all smoke and mirrors at this point, but at the number, I have to take the Magic.
Perfect.
I don't feel great about it, but I'll.
Can we triple bet?
Single bet. For now, single bet. I'm up so much on you right now. It's crazy. All right. What do you got for the total? I want to see how it compares to what we had when we did this 8 weeks ago.
So I think this is another one that's going to surprise people a bit. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So I would expect people to think the line to be very low based on the numbers that you gave as well. And I'm going to go a little bit higher than I think most people would expect it to be, and it's going to be 13.5. And I think the thinking here is that the Wildcats know Bonham. They are going to feast on Bonham. And I think that RJ will get in trouble a little bit. I don't anticipate the Magic scoring very many runs. But I do, there's going to be scenarios where they can pitch to Grant if they have a lead. If it's 4-0 or something like that, then doesn't and there's nobody on base, obviously. Or they might even do the bases loaded intentional walk up 4-0, which will give the Magic a run. So
I'm good for that. I can't wait to see that. It's going to be awesome.
That would be great theater. I'd love it.
Like if they're up, let's say they're up 3-1, bases loaded, Grant, for sure you walk them, right, Jaxen?
Just walk them.
I don't, in a 3-1 game, I don't know. It may be. I don't know. It depends. It depends who would be pitching probably too between me and Kyle. But I don't know. I don't know about that one. That would be a team decision, I guess.
He leads off, right? Grant leads off. Who's normally their second hitter?
Doesn't matter, Mike. They're all the same.
Exactly.
I think it might be Jordan.
Ackerman.
I don't.
Ackerman's batted second most of the time, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be an intentional walk situation for me. 3-1, third inning, bases loaded, walk. All right. What do you think about that total, Jaxen? 13.5.
Yeah, I would. That's pretty solid. I would probably say 14.5. I'll go one, but I think it's solid.
Okay, Trevor, you have a strong feeling on which way you want to bet this one?
No, I want you to have to decide.
Okay, this is the exact same number you came with last time, so at least your brain is consistent.
Nice.
I'm gonna continue to take the over. So I don't feel great about it. I think there's an excellent chance the Magic score 1 or less. So I'll take the under. So those are our bets. I got the Magic and the over. Who would have thought 5-1 versus 5-1? Spectacular.
And you betting on the Magic.
Yep.
Never thought I'd see the day.
And I have RJ on my squad. You've got our guest, 7th overall pick in the most recent fantasy draft, Jaxen Pearson. All right, Trevor, what do you got? Anything else?
No, I think that's all. I guess we have to shout out Ryan Crouch's dad and Tommy Coughlin's mom. They were both wonderful people to talk to in the Philly series.
Cool. All right. Jaxen, any final words? I guess I have it written down and I consider myself a journalist. Pretty displeased with the Liam Jaxen for RJ Walgate trade?
Not necessarily, because I mean the Magic, I mean they're obviously a lot better now, and it just made the league more competitive as a whole. So I mean, obviously, like, it sucks that we didn't get RJ, but I'm happy for the Magic and they're doing well, and Grant coming in there and being able to have a steady duo right by his side, and then at the same time too, I mean, Liam honestly showed out last series. He got a couple big hits for us, and he literally says whatever dirty work, whatever works needed to do, he's there to do it, and he's been practicing on his game a lot. So I'm excited to see Liam keep improving, and because people forget he was actually pretty good in 2020, and then he kind of just last year they had kind of a downfall. So it just needed a different environment, I think. So I think Liam's honestly a pretty good player.
That's a great, excellent answer. Just imagine the butterfly effect. If RJ Walgate wasn't drafted by the Magic, if let's say he got drafted by the Wildcats, you might not be pitching, or maybe he might not be pitching. We wouldn't even know. So
100%. Very true.
I think it worked out for everybody. All right. This is going to be a good series. I'm pumped for this one. Jaxen, thanks for stopping by again. I'm sure we'll talk again down the road. Good gambling, everybody. Good to see you, Trevor.
Good to see you.
All right.
See you, Jaxen.
Jaxen,
See you guys. Thank you for having me.